Hi, today I'm going to be making ginger beer, prompted by the fact that lemons are falling off the tree, so some way to use up the lemons. I'm making about 2.5 litres, just using an old orange juice bottle. It's got a screw top to it, and the ingredients I'm going to be using are, for that quantity, there's the 4 lemons, yeast, dry ginger, ginger root, a bit of sugar as the starter for the yeast, and some honey for the sweetener. Now, the quantities I'm using is a matter of experiment, depending on how strong you like it, how weak you like it, how sweet you like it. So it's only after about, say, the third batch you make that you work out how you like it and how strong each of the ingredients are in your locality. The equipment I'm using, cutting board, knife, teaspoon to measure out the yeast, dessert spoon to measure out the ginger. There's that half cup I use to get out the honey, a glass or receptacle for the yeast starter, a jug for the mix of the lemon and ginger to let when it stands. I've got quite a wide mouth jug because I use the the grater, and just put it on there to grate the lemon peel and the ginger. Right, the only other thing we'll need will be the hot water or boiling water, and I think we're about set. I'll left out the sieve. We'll come to that. So first things first, I'll put the kettle on just to boil some water up, and then I'll start to prepare the yeast. So I'll do the yeast in that glass. Again, depending on how active the yeast is, or will determine the amount, but I use about half a teaspoon. That in there. Now, to get the yeast fermenting and growing, it needs a bit of food, so I just use half a teaspoon of sugar, and then it needs to be in warm water, so I just use water out of the hot tap. It's only hand hot. Do it, don't need to be too much. A bit of stir to dissolve the sugar, and in the recipe books it says keep it warm. I never quite worked that out, so the way I do that, I take a saucepan, put some hot water in it, again hand hot. Put the yeast mixture in it, just pop the lid on and put it to one side. Now that should take about 10 minutes to start fermenting, and whilst that's activating, we'll start doing the ginger beer mix. So I've got the lemons. These are off a tree, so I can just wash them under a tap and start using them. I have read in some books that if these are shop bought, they sometimes put wax on them to preserve them, so they may need washing with some dishwashing liquid, obviously rinse well. So I just use the small grater to get the zest off. I'm not too thorough about this, because once the juice has been taken out of them, I can take more zest off. Now the trick is apparently not to use the pith, as the pith's quite bitter. So it's just the lemon zest to three, four. Now I don't juice them straight away, because I reckon the hotter the water is or the hotter the mixture is here, to get the flavour out, the better. And obviously the lemon juice is going to be cold. So I then put in the ginger, and for this recipe and this quantity I use about a dessert spoon of ginger. Oops. Again, the amount to be used depends on the strength of your ginger powder and how much you like the ginger flavour. I also use ginger root, just buy that from your local supermarket or whatever, and I don't bother peeling it, and just put on there and get that nicely cut up in small bits to release the flavour. And put in as much or as little as you like. And again, it's only once you've made a couple of batches you can work out what your taste is for the ginger beer. I think that will do for me. Right. Now, so we've got the ginger and lemon zest in there. I'll add the boiling water, and then once that's added I'll put in the honey. The honey I'm using is it's a New Zealand bush blend. You can use sugar. The recipes say use sugar, but I'm not too keen on using loads of refined sugar. I think honey is probably healthier. I'll put the hot water in. Basically just to let this pull out the flavour. Right, I use 1.5 cups approximately of the honey. That's one half. Again, not particularly accurate. One. That's 2. And that's 3. So I'll say I'm not too keen on all that white sugar, so just to make sure I don't waste it, put some hot water in there. Move that around a bit. There we go. So then it's just a matter of mixing it up to dissolve the honey in the mixture. And this basically needs to stand for about half an hour. Now that's the honey dissolved. Put that to one side and put in the lemon juice. Again, don't have to be too particular about, I forgot the lemon strainer, don't have to be too particular about the gunk that goes into the mixers. It's going to be sieved before it goes into the bottle for the ginger beer. Oops. Right, and there's the lemon. And just pour that into there. And as I said earlier, I can now just go back and any bits of zest that I've got flat surface to work with. Right, so that's about done. Just give that another stir and just let it stand. And again, to keep the heat up, I'll again put it into a saucepan of hot water. Oops. And that will just keep it warm. Okay, so that's it done. I can leave it now for half an hour. And jumping ahead, when I come back, I'll take out the yeast and the ginger beer mixture, just strain it through. I'll put it into a jug. I just tip the yeast straight in and then strain that through a sieve and take your bottle, put the mix into the bottle and then top that up with water, either from the tap or I actually use water from a local artesian well. Cap it, and then it'll take about, well, depending on the temperature, depending on the activity of the yeast, a day to 3 days for it to ferment. How do you know when it's ready? Well, here's one I prepared earlier, as they say. Well, I'm actually drinking my way through it, and you'll note from the shape of the bottle the yeast is pretty active and it's as hard as. So with this one, press it in. This one I can't press it in because the yeast is working away. In fact, if you listen, you should be able to hear it. Yeah. And I'll put it in the fridge, and there it is. Cheers. Yum yum.